What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We're out here at the pit today. We're going to be shooting the LMT. I'm going to be showing you some groupings with 55 grain, 62 grain green tip, and then some M855 Alpha 1. We're going to do some 5-round groups here, show you what the LMT can do. This is about 60 or 70-ish yards, so not quite 100, but for all intents and purposes, that's going to work for us today. So we'll jump right into it, start with 55 grain and work our way up from there. All right, guys, so we're going to start out with the 55 grain stuff. This is just PPU Rangemaster line, so this is pretty much what I shoot if I'm shooting 55, and it's not like PMC or something like that. So we'll start out with the 55 grain here. We'll shoot 5 on the left IPSC, and then we will show you guys kind of what it does with 55 grain. All right, so this is going to be the 62 grain IMI green tip. We're going to shoot it on the right IPSC, so we're going to shoot it right above the 55 grain group, excuse me. So 5 shots, 62 grain IMI green tip. All right, and lastly, we're going to shoot 5 rounds of M855A1 and see what it does out of the 12.5-inch SpecWar. All right, so we just got done shooting the 15 rounds between 55 grain, 62 grain, and M855A1. Now, I will say I'm very surprised with this 62 grain, how much this has opened up. So I'm gonna retry with 62 grain, see if I can't tighten that up a little bit. This isn't really optimal here, I don't like this. But 55 grain up top here, this grouping with just a aim point at 68 yards is not too bad. It's good enough for me. I kept it all in the head box, so I try to make every single one of these squares about the same size as the head box here. Now, 62 grain, that's just awful. Like I said, I'm shooting IMI green tip, so I'm gonna try and tighten this up and circle back. So at the bottom here, M855A1, you can kind of tell my 0 is with the 55 grain. I was holding my dot center on each one of these boxes when I was shooting these groups. So M855A1, excuse me, is down to the left a little bit, and that 62 grain is kind of atrocious. So we're gonna try and tighten this up and see if we can't get them just a little bit tighter with the 62 grain. All right, so we're gonna retry this 5-round group with the 62 grain because that was not optimal on that middle box here. So I'm gonna switch to the left IPSC, shoot the head box and see if I can't tighten this group up. Maybe it's just an ammo thing, but you guys saw the groups with 55 and M855. They're relatively the same size, granted, albeit shifted a little bit from my 0 just because of obviously the different ammos and different loads. So 5 rounds, 62 grain IMI on the left IPSC head box. All right, guys, so this is the second grouping with the IMI green tip here, about the size of my fist. It's not great, definitely not ideal. It is a little bit tighter than the first grouping I shot, so looking a little bit better. Again, I'm shooting this with just an aim point, no mag. It's very bright out here, so I have my dot dimmed down just enough so I can see the dot. I was aiming center head box, so not too far off with the 0 for that. Again, definitely 0 for the 55 grain stuff you saw on the other IPSC. Not super thrilled with what I'm seeing, but then again, I'm shooting this pretty quick. I'm not taking 5-minute breaks in between every shot. The gun's starting to get a little bit hot out here, so groupings are opening up a little bit. I think overall passing for the LMT SpecWar in my book is, you know, what I'm going to be using it for. I think these groupings are acceptable. Obviously, hold yourself to a high standard here. Try and get your groupings as tight as you can get them and stay consistent and stuff here. So I'm going to keep doing some testing with it, see how much more I can tighten these groupings up a little bit, guys. But I don't want to make the video too long, so we'll jump back up top. All right, guys, so that is just a short little video I wanted to do today on the LMT SpecWar. This gun was 0 for 55 grain at about 100 with the aim point and a magnifier. It groups okay. I'm sure I could get it a lot better if I put an LPVO on here or threw some magnification behind the red dot. Today, like I said, it's very bright out here. I'm shooting against the white IPSCs. So by no means am I like an expert shooter or anything. I'm an okay shooter. Pretty impressed for what it is, give or take, with my skill set. And again, the optic setup. You can probably push this gun a lot harder. and a lot farther than I was today, but I just wanted to show you because realistically, this is what I'm shooting this gun at. This is how I use my rifles. Just wanted to show you guys kind of what I do, what I go through checklist wise on what I look for when I shoot these guns and group them. But I'm rambling on, guys, so with all that being said, that's going to bring us to the end of the video. If you enjoyed it, please consider leaving a like and subscribing. I will catch you guys in the next one.